Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alex Udekian. I mean, why is this thing rotating here like this? Hi, my name is Alex Udekian, and you're welcome to my talk show today. So today, basically, I'll be sharing my experience on a recent interview I went for. Last month, a friend of mine sent me a message and was like, "Yo, there's this company out that are sourcing or." There's this company, a consulting firm that's in need of a video editor. So they just contacted me and was like, "Yo, bro, are you still into video editing?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, I'm into video editing. I'm still into video editing." And it was like, "You know what? There's a company I was working for before, but I was working as a video guy. So I want you to come on board as a video editor." So I was really happy, because we just came out of coronavirus. So I went for the interview. So he sent my details to the managing director. So and I was called upon for interview. So when the manager called me, he spoke to me, it was really masculine voice and said a lot of stuff. And he said I should come over the second day by 7 a.m. in the morning. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I went over, I woke up very early in the morning, went over for the interview. So when I got there, contacted the man, I was like, "Oh, I'm around, blah, blah, blah," He was like, "Okay, don't worry, somebody will bring you in." So a security man took me upstairs where they were. I'm not going to mention the company. Now, after during the interview, we started talking, and during the interview, the conversation was really, everything was going well, we're flowing, and all of a sudden, we got to the point where we started talking about remuneration, salaries, and work ethics. I wasn't really concerned about the salary, to be sincere. I just wanted to leave the house, get something doing for myself. I was tired of sitting at home, just a graduate preparing to go for my NYSC. So I was just at home seated, So immediately the opportunity came. I also wanted to get something doing, so I won't just sit down at home wasting my time. So to cut a long story short, we started talking about remuneration. So I was more concerned, about the work ethic. That was just the only thing. So the man was like, the work ethic was, I was to work Mondays 7 to 6. I was to resume Mondays to Wednesdays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then on Thursdays to Saturday, sometimes on Sundays, I'll have to work overnight as a video editor. So the first thing that first came to my head was, it's not a TV station. Even TV stations don't run like that. So I was kind of furious, like, why would you want to imprison me from Mondays to Saturdays, sometimes Sundays? I won't have time for my own life. So I just felt, okay, probably I should just do it for the meantime, just to get funds, and later on I can quit. So I told the man, so how much? So after discussing, after discussing for a while, he was like, "Oh, young man, we can only pay you 65,000 naira. 60,000 naira. That's the max we can pay you." So I was like, "I'll work 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Then on Thursdays to Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays, I have to work overnight. So that means I will be sleeping over at the office for 60,000 naira for 30 days. I'll do that for 30 straight days just to earn 60,000 naira." It was kind of insulting though. But fresh graduate now, you just want to get something doing for yourself. You want to start making money. You want to start proving to the family that, yeah, you guys didn't waste money. So I was really furious. So I sat down and I was like, 60K. The money wasn't worth it though, but I could do. But by the time the man started telling me the work ethics, work 7 a.m., close 6 p.m., Mondays to Wednesdays, Thursdays to Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, I have to work overnight. That's where the thing became so annoying to me. So I was like, I can't collect 60K. Then the man told me, he said, you are a fresh graduate, and again, the company he was like, you're a fresh graduate, you're a young man, you just graduated from university, you still have a lot of ladders to climb, you have to start from the bottom, then you climb the ladder, we pay you 60K and you work for us, and the guy was just speaking English. In my head, fine, that was like the first interview that was like second interview I would go for, but it was strange to me in a way, like the pricing, the work ethics was not conducive, and it was then my eyes was open. I discovered almost all the old employee in that company, the manager was the only one that was putting on a suit. The rest were putting on coats. I'm sorry to insult them, but he was the one that was dressed like was looking healthy. Every other person was looking tired, tattered. I was like, this imprisonment. I didn't find it really funny. I didn't see that as a good deal. So we're still discussing. Then the man said, you know what? This is Corona period. The companies are just recovering from the Corona losses. Blah blah blah. Let's just start you up with 60K, and as time goes on, we increase. Then I was like, what time are you guys going to do? It was like, well, you have not yet gone for your NYC. What if you go for your NYC? That would be a loss on us. And I was like, even if I wasn't going for an NYC, if you employed somebody that was even ready, like is done service, is in the labor market full time, what if after 1 month the person decide not to work for you again? So the man was like, well, you're just starting up, you need to start from somewhere. When I started 20-something years ago, you were still a baby, you were still in primary school. I started with as low as 5,000 naira as salary. In my head, I was calculating, that's your own business. I'm talking about myself. Then he started telling me stories about when he started. He was talking to his boss. He was sleeping over at the company, and he started telling me, well, you millionaire of nowadays, you guys are like this, like that. What do you do with money? Immediately he said that, that's why I got angry. I was really, really, really pissed. So I was like, okay. So after discussing, so I didn't want to be rude to him, and I didn't want to kind of disrespect the person who referred me to him, to the company. So I was like, okay, so let's move forward. I have not agreed, but let's see how things go. So it was like, okay, let's take you to the studio. I think we were still discussing on the price. I was not really concerned about the salary, the remuneration at first. I was concerned about the work ethic because most weekends I get to shoot weddings. So sometimes most of the time with the weddings I'll collect, one wedding is enough for the 60K. That is to pay me for a whole month. I shoot one wedding and I collect more than what he's paying me a salary. But I also want a place where I could just wake up in the morning and go. But when he mentioned the 60K, then I was concerned about the salary, like the work ethic and the whole remuneration. The work and the remuneration doesn't tally at all. They are not correlating in any way. While I was still discussing with him, he told me, let's go to the studio, let me show you the studio, let's show you the system, then you can show us what you can do. So I was like, okay, no problem. Probably when I show you what I can do, you then pay me a reasonable amount. I was not thinking I'll be earning like 200 or 150, but 60K. His own reasons for paying me 60K is because based on what he said, based on what I could deduce from what he was saying that day was, I'm going to go for my youth service. 1, I'm a young graduate. 2, when he was younger, he earned way lesser. He had to be sleeping over in the studio. 3 and 4. He said a lot of stuff. So I went over. So he took my details, my address, blah 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 blah. It was my CV. He didn't even ask for my CV. All he was just telling me was, "What's your name?" He said, I didn't want to be disrespectful, so I was just quiet, and I don't know how the employment process in the organization was. So I was taken to the studio for to show what I can do. So when I got to the studio, I met a man there. The man was talking to me, blah blah blah. He was like, "Oh, is this system good enough for video editing?" And I went through the system. It was not that good, but I can't just come and change things just like that. So I was like, okay, I can work with this, but it's not perfect, but definitely I can work with this. I found my way around it. So I was like, can I get videos to edit? He was like, no, I have to create something. And I was like, you didn't give me any video to edit, you just want me to create something. Well, I'm very versatile. Although I edit, I also do motion graphics. So I went, opened an app called After Effects. I created a motion graphics, and it was really lovely. I wish I had copied it, I would have displayed it. So I presented it. Then after the whole this thing, the man was like, lovely. So they brought the manager, then came to the studio to overview, and was like, oh, this is lovely, but this is not what we are paying you to come and do. What you are paying to come and do is video editing, not motion graphics artist. I was like, okay. I spoke with this man about it, but he said I should just create something. He was like, yeah, this is very lovely, but we need you to edit a video. Now, beforehand, that friend of mine that referred me already told me that I shouldn't edit a job that has not been aired, because they air on STV, on Silverbird, right? So they air their program on Silverbird. So the man then, so when my friend told me not to edit a job that has not been aired already, I should do past job. I should re-edit past job in my own way. So when the man was like, oh, give him some jobs, I was like, this job, has it been aired already? They were like, no. I was like, you have to give me a past job, I'll re-edit. I can't give you a job that, you can't give me a job to edit that you have not aired. Then what if you guys are not to use me and then you guys post the job on air? Then whose loss is that? So the man looked at me. So he felt, his expression, he knew I knew what I was doing. So he was like, okay, give me past jobs. So when he brought out the past jobs, the footages were not complete. So I had to do some stuff, edit and adjust some stuff. Then I showed him. So before I was done editing, he had gone home because we had a long discussion during the interview. So after showing the job, I called him over to come and check. He had gone home. So his PA then came over. So his PA spoke to me. So some of the camera guys that had gone to record during the day were back that evening. So they brought footages. So then his PA told me, he said, the man had gone home, but he said I should start working, that I'll be given employment immediately, that I should start working. So I was like, I didn't prepare to resume today, and you guys are not giving me letter of appointment. There's no written agreement. What if I work with you throughout this month and you decide to pay me salary? I don't have any documents to hold you responsible for payment of services I've rendered throughout the month. So the PA was like, then I should have discussed with the man. I was like, we had a long discussion. We are not concluded on the salary yet, but you guys telling me to resume like today is unfair, because I didn't even prepare to resume today. So on my way home, then I called. So I told the PA that I have to leave. Probably tomorrow, once I come, I'll discuss finally with the manager and the likes. So the PA was like, I should wait. You have to talk to the manager first. So he spoke to the manager on the phone. I don't know the discussion they had. So he was like, the manager said I should wait. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't wait. So I was like, okay, what if I wait? What do you want me to do? Because he's not coming back to review this thing. They were like, the jobs they just finished today, I should start editing them. And in my head, I was like, who does that? Start editing? You didn't know letter of employment? So I was like, I'm sorry, man, I have to leave. So I told him, man, I just have to leave. So he was like, okay. So he left me, probably angrily. I don't know, I didn't pay attention. But I did, because in the first place, I didn't have any discussion with him. I had a discussion with the manager. That's the person I had discussion with. He is just a PA, and I didn't even know he was a PA, because the way he was even talking was kind of rude. But I was just quiet over things. So I left. So on my way home, I got a call, and the man was like, I had asked to start working today. You told my PA that I asked to start working today, and you told my PA. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't plan to resume today. I'll resume tomorrow. And furthermore, we haven't concluded on the salary. Then the man was like, we already concluded. Blah 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 blah. This. While he was talking, I was like, sir, please, let's resume this thing. The 60K I didn't conclude with you. All I said was, let me see the studio, blah blah. So he got angry, then he hung up. I called that guy immediately. I explained to the guy earlier what actually occurred. Then the guy was like, no problem. If the man calls him, he will discuss with the man. So the second day, so when I go home, I told my uncle, explained to my family, they were all just laughing at me. So the second day, I was called for another interview. I was told to resume for another. I was told to come over for a renegotiation. And I was like, okay. So I woke up the second day. I went for the interview. So that my friend came and he was with us. So he saw what was happening. So while he was with us, it was like, why he was with us, he was like, hey, let's just be calm, just listen, and don't worry, I will be here with you. So it was at the reception while I was inside. While we were talking, this time around, it was no longer just the manager, it was the manager and two other guys in the company. So the manager first started was saying things like, we had an agreement, he doesn't know what's wrong with the millennials, that we millennials, we are rude, we believe we know it all, we don't want to serve, we don't want to start small. What's the point of starting small when there's an option to start big? But I didn't see it, I was thinking about it in my head. So I had nose marks on my face though, so we were talking. So he said he gave his own view and I gave my own view. But I discovered the two guys that were with him, they realized I knew what I was saying. But the fact that they were employed under him, they just had to take his own side. All they had to say was, young man, you have to bring your head down, you are still young, you have a longer way to go in life, you have to start from somewhere, this thing. I just told him, I said, trust me, the salary you guys are proposing to pay me is what I can collect if I get one wedding job. It's not the 60K that matters to me. I don't even care if you guys are paying me 60K. What matters to me is I can't be working, resuming 7 a.m., closing 6 p.m., and Mondays to Wednesday, then on Thursday to Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, based on what he said, I have to work overnight. And they were like, that's the work ethic, and I was like, I'm sorry man, I can't work. So the manager was like, well, since you said you can't work, then we don't have any reasons to further our discussion. I was like, wow, thank you very much, sir. So after a while, it was like, well, you can just go and show them what you did yesterday. So in my head, I was like, but you already said, but I was like, okay, let's go. So when to see it, they saw what I did. So he was just looking for ways to talk me down. He was telling me what you did, I can get somebody to do it for, I can't even pay you 5,000 naira for what you did. While he was saying it, I was just smiling. I was like, okay sir, I didn't say anything, I was like, okay sir. So later they called the guy that referred me into the interview, the boardroom where they interviewed me. They spoke to him, blah blah. The guy came to me and told me they were saying things like, they know, the manager was like, I know you will support your friend, blah 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 blah. And my friend was like, I told you from onset, this guy is good. You've seen his work. You talking him down alone is an insult to him, you know. And the man was like, I know you will support your friend, blah 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 blah. So to cut the long story short, last year I sacked myself. I sacked myself before. I didn't bother going. I just told them I'm sorry. I just can't do it. So I just had to leave, man. So the reason why I made this video is because for those of you who are just going into the labor market, like myself, based on the experience based on my experience, I explained earlier on. Number one, try to seek advice from people either that are in that field or that are ahead of you in any other field. Alright, that's number one. Number two, when you go for an interview, try as much as possible to find out the work ethic. Don't just concentrate on the salary. I didn't concentrate on the salary, but the reason why I focused on the salary was it was kind of redundant. 60,000 naira. That was, to me, it was insult. It was an insult. I won't lie to you. Number three, don't let anybody talk you down. If anybody tells you, don't let anybody talk you down. That's number three. Number four, if you don't get a job, it's not because you're not good. It's because there's a bigger opportunity ahead of you. Thank you so much. My name is Alexandra Odehian. Thank you for watching my vlog today. If you have any opinion or any idea or if any experience related to this topic, kindly drop it in the comments below So thank you very much. I still remain your host, Alex Udekian. Bye.